You are listening to the Masculine Mindset Show, a podcast for men to develop a backbone, a masculine purpose, if you will, and get more physically attractive, and even become more mentally healthy. All you men listening, I turn nice introverts into fit, self-entitled savages, if you will. And you might even become a little cocky as a result of your G status. More importantly, you guys, I also show you how to flirt and date more women and seal the deal. Just look at the show notes. They are all on my blog articles. Let's get into the content. What's up, guys? Before we get into the content, do me a favor. Leave me a 5-star review with words behind it, okay? This helps me rank up in the search rankings. And one more thing, you guys. I just put my show on iHeartRadio, also Google Podcasts, and Amazon Music, even Castbox as well, you guys. So follow me on these platforms. Okay, I'll say that again. iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, and Castbox. All right, let's get into the content. Masculine Mindset Show. It's Adam Skoda back with my man James the Chiseler on Instagram. Guys, go follow this guy. He's badass. He's a bad motherfucker. So today's topic is controlling your dark side. And this has been on my mind for quite some time. Just a little story about what really inspired this podcast is like about a month ago. Full transparency, you guys. Sometimes I think that there's negative repercussions to masculine energy, because what happened was I literally almost punched someone that I really care about.
What?
And so yeah, I had to control myself and step back and be like, Adam, remember what Wes Watson said: violent by design, courtesy by choice. And that rang into my freaking brain, and then I stopped myself from not going there. So the reason I really wanted to cover this, and guys, I was just being vulnerable here because the last time I brought the James on, the Chiseler James, yeah, and we were talking about how I don't like being vulnerable, and so that's me being vulnerable, you guys. I'm human. Shit happens. People test me, and sometimes I have a short fuse. So then again, that I think that just comes from both James and I being acquainted with Wes, and we all have that part of us that can really be dark, and we have to control it. So if you have anything to elaborate on that, let me know.
Me, yeah. I mean, definitely, being angry. Um, for me, I find my anger more towards aimed at myself, um, than other people, just because I can't control other people. You know what I mean? I can't expect too much from other people. I can't, and yeah, that's the biggest thing. I can't expect someone to act or react or say or not say or be or display a certain behavior that I would do myself or want from someone else, not knowing that person, or even if I do know that person well, like it be a sibling or somebody. um, there's still aspects of things that they, go about things differently than I would, because we obviously live in two different lives. We're not obviously waking up in the same bed, going to the same job, talking to the same people. So that's definitely a different aspect that they would have to go through than I would. Um, but yeah, so that right there allows me to kind of immediately diminish that anger. But the hard part is reminding myself that, you know, that I can't expect nothing from that person, or I can't expect them to react or or yeah, to react a certain way that I expect them to. So remembering that, and how I do that is just I kind of just visualize everybody as babies. You know what I mean? As like a big baby. When I see that behavior, that's like not what I how I expected them to react or whatever. But say I got into a car crash or it's a little bit of not me, but the person is in a little bit of road rage. I might be, compared to like going to work in the morning where I might be a little more like in a rush to get there compared to like getting off work where I might be a little more relaxed, you know. So when I'm a little more relaxed and not really in a rush to like get or go anywhere, I'm just like on my way home for the end of the day, then my decision making and my mindset might be a little more relaxed than someone that's might be in a rush to like gotta get home to their kids or gotta get home to make dinner or whatever it may be. So they may maybe a little more on edge if I was to like switch lanes, cut them off or something like that, and then they get a little mad or whatever, and then again, I have to just be open and mindful to those things, and then when I see that reaction of them flipping me off or them, whatever it may be, that's when I think into my head like, oh, that person is obviously dealing with something, or oh, that's just a baby that don't know how to properly react in an adult manner. So, so yeah, that's how I kind of see it.
Yeah, you know, something I wanted to mention before I forget, and that is, you guys, I have an article on my website, and if you go into the show notes, I always put these in the show notes, you guys. So really look at the show notes every time I release these podcasts. This article is called "The Right Way to Control Your Anger," and uh, something that I think that every single guy out there has got to work on, me included. Okay, I'm human. Uh, is just basically the right way. The right way to really say it is, I guess, have good impulse control with that short fuse that a lot of guys have, and I think that the more control you have over your anger, in in my mind, the more masculine you are, because I think that in
I agree.
my mind, yeah, in in my mind, if guys consistently lose their shit too much, then that shows that life can often get you off your inner state of composure, if that makes sense. Your inner balance point, right? You have like a straight line, and like when you're walking over a right. So when you walk from point A to point B, like just say for example, there's like a building, and you're walking on this bridge from building A to building B, your inner balance is like this. Like if you're on that board, you want to stay in balance. If you're all over the place, you're gonna fall off, right?
Right, right.
And and so you guys, something that I wanted to touch upon really quick is, I know a lot of you guys listen for the dating stuff, but I'm gonna tell you something. Will women see that you have a short fuse? Okay,
Right, right. It all
I am
ties together too.
I am letting you know right now. You have got to remain calm, composed, chill, relaxed, grounded, and centered when women test you. As I said in my
They
article.
will.
Yeah,
They will, guarantee, without a doubt. Like that's inevitable.
yeah. And so I'm coming from reference experiences. Okay? Not only will women test your short fuse, in a way it's like they want you to react in like a negative way. That's what I've noticed. I don't know if you've had that same experience, James, but sometimes it's like they they are looking for that in a way.
It's like because they're built on emotion. So they
Yeah.
want so negative for us would be reacting emotionally instead of thinking logically, about the situation. And that's so if for a woman to be based on emotions, that's how she can read you is you give it back emotion. And if your emotion is nothing, then she can't really read you. But if it's like, obviously extremely happy or if extremely mad or upset, frustrated, then she can obviously see that this is something that frustrates you for sure. But obviously it may mentally frustrate you, but you can't display those behaviors when speaking to your woman for sure.
Gotcha. Hey James, really quick, could you tilt your speaker towards you? Because I'm on my end, it sounds a little funky. If you could, just a little bit. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, so I wanted to mention something on my article. It says, "Forgive yourself for getting mad at people. Forgive yourself for getting mad at people." So I do this all the time, you guys. Like when I notice, okay, like I have that heat heat coming up in my head. It's like when I'm driving on the highway, right? And there's this guy creeping up, and he's like creeping on my fucking tail, and I get, come on, I know what you're doing. You're creeping on my fucking tail, and then he goes right around me, and then he fucking cuts me off. I wanna get up and start throwing chairs. It's like, you know what I mean? A lot of guys don't like that. But what I want to say is forgive yourself for getting mad at even the littlest things, as James and I were talking about before the podcast. So forgive yourself for getting mad at people. If there's anything that you want to say about that, let me know.
Well, yeah, it's definitely okay to be mad. It's okay to I mean, because you can't control it. I mean, at that point, you've obviously at that point that's a sign of, you needing work. So at this point it's too late for the reaction or the emotion that you feel about it because you can get to a point where that same encounter will make you laugh and it'll no longer bring that anger type of emotion. So, but if you do get angry, then that's when you have to then, for me, I didn't think about what we learned what I learned from Coach Mike is what is it? Forward thinking. I know that's not what the term is, but cope ahead. Where you cope ahead, you basically think. For me, I think about the consequences on the smallest scale to the greatest scale of if I did reacted exactly the way that I want to, what will then be the next, you know, moment of escalation or de-escalation or whatever it may be. So so that's what I do as far as like controlling that emotion in the moment of not being angry because I think ahead and think, oh, if I do get angry, or I am angry already, but if I do act upon the anger that I'm feeling in the manner that I want to, then for sure I'm gonna reap consequences, and most of them 9 times out of 10 are not, consequences that I want for sure. So
Dude, I can hear you a lot better. Thanks. That helps a lot. Yeah, that's so fucking true, man. That's so fucking true. I will. All right, you guys. There is a point where anger can be a good thing, and I'll touch upon this briefly. As you guys already know, we both know each other through Wes, and in a way, yes, anger can be a good thing, but it comes it here's when it becomes a problem. It becomes a problem when it interferes with other areas of your life, and
right,
that's when I see that as a problem. But like, let's talk about when it can be good, very very briefly. So I have an episode called "Tap Into Your Dark Side" for Jim Gates. I recommend that the listeners go check it out. What I say on that episode is this: I say, look, you guys, I want you to fucking look in the mirror and act like you're about to fucking kill someone. But be safe, lift safe, just bring out that darkness in your eyes and lift like your life fucking depends on it. And that's right there, that's when I will say anger can be fucking good. You know what I mean? So I think that,
right. No, exactly.
yeah. If there's something you want to say on that, let me know.
Well, yeah. So to like to like continue on with the scenario, if you're like in a road rage situation, say it gets to the point where this person, you know, gets out of their car and they, moving towards you, then in that moment, yeah, utilize that anger to display, someone that's not gonna back down from someone trying to intimidate you,
Hmm.
type situation. And but then again, you gotta control yourself to the point where if this person did not hit me, then I can't proceed, my anger and hit them. You know what I mean? But I still can speak from a strong, authoritative manner to let this person know that I'm not backing down and I'm not scared of you. And if you want to go there, we can go. So yeah, that's what I got to say on it.
Yo, I love that. If my listeners go throughout my library, they'll see my episode, How to Truly Develop a Masculine Mindset. In that episode, I basically say a good sum up on that episode is I said, it is how you position yourself as an authority. That's how you really develop a strong masculine mindset. And why is that? Well, because guys, really quickly, just say this. When you position yourself as an authority, no, it's not like you're becoming a policeman. No, you walk with purpose. You walk like you're the fucking G. You have like higher status nonverbals. Higher status nonverbals is just like, look, you guys. A lot of people have this common misconception that being high status is having all the cars, having all the chicks. Nope, not true. Okay, high status is actually everything not being said. It's not the words you say, it's how you present yourself. It's your first impression.
Yeah.
It's how you actually basically appear to other people, how people interpret you. It is how you, it's basically where you're at on the pecking order. Are you higher status? Because you guys are going to tell you something. If you are blown to and from the whims of circumstance, you're living in the effect. Okay, this is getting very deep and kind of like abstract. So bear with me here. When you live in the effect, you're not high status. You're low status. When you live in the cause, you're higher status. Okay. There's living in the effect is you're like, oh, I'm Wes would say a circumstantial bitch, but being in the cause is like you are in control. You dictate your own emotions and you own who you are. You are the fucking man, and you don't have to like need any approval or validation from anyone to know that you are enough on your own. That's like a good sum up of living in the cause.
Right.
Makes sense.
Right. How I would explain it is, so you when you were in the react, you're basically reacting to your environment, your situation,
Yeah.
the events that occur and come your way compared to um what was the other word? I forgot. Cause and what was the other word that you had said?
Cause and effect. So when
Oh,
you
the
live in the
cause, the cause.
cause,
So when you're in the cause, then you're creating or you're displaying or you already present yourself in a manner for people to react to you as such, or you say words to move your environment or um to basically just create the environment and demeanor and the display in which the situation asks for. So say like so say like um an employee comes up to you, with the extreme situation that they need solved or resolved, and and then they're just so ecstatic or like in horror about what's going on, and then you basically in react mode, you basically react just like they are in that scatterbrain type of reaction, and try to figure out rather than telling them to calm down and changing that person's vibration, basically controlling the situation and telling them calm down, what's going on, you know think about it now, react yourself these questions yourself, and going about it differently. Um, so yeah, that's how I would explain the action and reaction, or reaction or cause, I guess.
There's this really awesome quote by Eckhart Tolle on my article, "The Right Way to Control Your Anger." I'll read this to you guys really quick. It says, "As far as inner transformation is concerned, there is nothing you can do about it. You cannot transform yourself, and you certainly cannot transform your partner or anybody else. All you can do is create a space for transformation to happen, for grace and love to enter." Now, we're getting kind of airy fairy here. You guys are, wait, this guy's the host of the Masculine Mindset Show, and he's talking about spirituality. Like, what the fuck, Adam? You guys, sometimes your ego doesn't want to hear this, okay? But I'm going to tell you something again on my article, "The Right Way to Control Your Anger." I also state very clearly, if you don't let go of your ego, then it accumulates over time. Then
And as big as Wes's ego is, he still talks about spirituality.
yeah, yeah. And you guys, you're talking to a guy who promotes cocky, funny humor on my dating podcasts. But again, as I say on those podcasts, I say very clearly, you calibrate cockiness. You don't go too far into your fucking ego, because take that shit to the extreme, woman will just be like, "What the fuck? This guy's just being annoyingly arrogant." You know, like there's a point where yes, I do like cocky, funny humor, but there's a point where it can be taken way too far, and you just look
Right.
like a fucking idiot. So
Right. And it's just like an hourglass with just you can get to the point where it's just a little two more drops of grain of salt would be extreme, or taken back a little bit more would be just below that extreme level of someone receiving it in a negative manner. So it's um very sensitive for sure, dropping back and forth on that scale.
yeah, and just having self awareness on like putting attention to your pain body, like your emotional pain body. And you guys, this gets even deeper into what Eckhart Tolle teaches, right? So I'm just going to kind of like read from my article here, but this is what this is what really the pain body is. It is the accumulated pain is a negative energy field that can cause you to snap and turn into a fucking obnoxious, unattractive, emotional person. And that right there, you guys, is not you. That's not you. Okay? That's like in a way what some people would say like a demon, or like, as I said on that Brotherhood podcast, why every man should be in a brotherhood. If you guys actually know, I think it's called this. It's called "Why a Brotherhood Can Save Men's Lives." I said in that episode, everyone has a dark side. Everyone does. And if you try to tell me you don't have it, then you're being ignorant. I mean, can't you agree that
Right.
everyone has a dark side?
Right. I would say that demon that comes out is the demon that's been manifested over time from these situations building up, and
Mm-hmm.
then the demon has a more stronger hold to just make you snap. Because if it's just one situation, and then you've taken time to think about it and evaluate your behavior, you can, subside that. You can get rid of that demon. But if it's something that just ignore and be like, oh, tomorrow will be a new day, but you never gave yourself time to analyze your behavior, how you feel, how you want to feel in the future, how you're going to go about it the next time, then that's just, giving food to the demon for sure to make him a bigger beast.
Yeah, absolutely. So now that we kind of touched upon what your dark side really is, you guys, let's talk about ways to overcome that. So, James, what do you think is a great way to overcome like getting too fucking emotional and turn into a fucking feminine, short fused guy? Like, what would you say is a good way to do that, James?
Well, yeah, like I said, I mean, first of all, I feel like you have to know or think about how you want to portray yourself. You know what I mean? Like I want to. I mean, I want to portray myself to be, you know, or what we say a man is someone who's calm, someone who can control himself in extreme high stress situations, and be the pillar that people look to understand that the situation is manageable. It's not, something. It's not life or death. We can come back from um this tragedy or whatever. So, one of those things would be, once I've established that that's the type of demeanor I want to display, then now, um, I go into those characteristics, and then, so, um, hold on, got a brain fart. Um,
It's all good. No worries.
so yeah, and so hold on, repeat the question one more time.
Basically, tactical ways to control your dark side or anger, if you will.
Right. So you wanna display yourself a certain way, and you've evaluated how you want to be, which is calm, cool, and collective, and then you just and then I mean for me, I just practice those things. Like when a situation arises, I've already analyzed how I want to portray, and then in the moment, it may not happen. It takes practice, so it may not happen the first time or the second time, but the more you're once it do happen, and then you've analyzed your behavior, that okay, I did this is how I reacted because of this situation. Someone cut me off and I got mad. Why did I get mad? Am I mad because I'm in a rush? Am I mad because I have to go somewhere and then this person cut me off? So now I was cutting time off me getting home at the time that I wanted to get. So once you analyze why you're mad, and then remember the way you wanna the way you want to react in that situation, you know that's the practice that it takes, is the analyzation of your behavior and remembering the behavior that you want to display during that different situation. So, um, it's a lot of things that goes into it for sure. But to me, the number one thing is reflecting, analyzing your behavior after the fact of the event, and then telling yourself how you want to act the next time it occurs, a similar situation.
I love that. I love that. That's great, man. You know, also another thing. Wow, I'm actually getting the chills right now. Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys something that really has changed my life. All right, this really helped me get out of my own way, if you will. Even when I have that short fuse and I know that I have to leave the house before I turn into a fucking psycho nutcase. But it is called focused attention meditation. Focused attention meditation. Okay, really, this involves your attention on focusing on something intently. All right, and it does come from Hinduism and Buddhism. All right, and I'll say this real quick, you guys. I'm sponsoring this podcast by Brain FM because it has binaural beats to listen to. Go check it out. I'll put the link in the show notes. But this is what you do. You focus on your anger. You put attention on your anger. That's what it is. Focused attention meditation. You put your attention on your anger. You just turn on Brain FM, for example. Go to the meditation tracks and focus on the anger by putting attention on it. Be friendly towards it. Even laugh at it if you have to. Laugh at that feminine side, you guys. Yes, you guys, anger is feminine, okay? Guys who behave very freaking really, really, really fucking mad all the time, that's feminine, okay? Now, I'm not hitting on feminine energy, okay? I'm not. I want to be clear about that. Now, the next part here is watch it closely and get to know your emotional side. That would be my tactical way to controlling your dark side or controlling your anger, if you will.
Yeah, or journaling. Like I said, when you analyze in your thoughts, another good technique would be to write down your thoughts, write down the situation, or I mean, or working out when you, like you said, when you attentive to that emotion, That anger, you push that anger into that workout, and then you can, allow yourself to calm down, and then get into that thinking process. I feel like that's I feel like at the end of the day, that's the only, not the only, but the biggest, moving forward, to resolving, um, those areas in which makes you angry. Because I'm sure it's not, everything. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I'm sure there's some people that get angry to an extreme state to where, they hear something outside their house, it makes them angry. They drop, you know, a single grain of something that makes them angry, or somebody says the wrong thing, just every little thing. But then some people who, just have certain things that annoys them. Just journaling it, writing it down, like I said, being aware, being consciously aware of what is that's making you angry, and then obviously you writing that down is displaying you don't want to react that way. So, and then you write down how would you want to react that way, or what type of emotion do you want to feel? Obviously you don't want to feel, um, irritated. So that thought allows the body to react in that manner once you constantly tell yourself that.
Love that. I love that, dude. I love journaling. That's one of now that you mention it, I think that even more guys do this little strategy. I think it would really help. Just write down why you think you're angry, and then just and basically break it down. Like, why am I angry? Write that down, and then ask you, why do I feel this type of way towards my anger? Write that down too, and then just answer the why in like every single part of your journal. And I think that would be an amazing way to get all of the reasons why that you're mad on paper. But lastly, you guys, I have like a few minutes left of my time here, so I want to say this really quickly. I think that fitness that James touched upon is number fucking one here. Okay, you're mad, you're pissed off, guys. Take that anger out at the fucking gym, because that is the best place
Yeah.
to do it. That is a positive way to leverage your anger. Positive way to leverage your anger. You know, it's the fucking best way, in my opinion. So
Yeah, I can't think of any other way that would be that positive all around.
yeah, yeah. And so I have about 2 minutes left of my time here, James. So if you wanted to wrap up with like one of your biggest takeaways on this episode, let me know so that we can give my listeners can take action.
No, just reiterate like what you said, the fact that anger is, a sign of weakness, a sign of, not being a man, to be able to control your anger, because that's, the world around us, is full of distractions and things, and, easily, it's so easy, it's easy, very easy to get angry, get upset, frustrated, because it's not exactly how you project it in your mind it should go, it should happen, it should be, because that's just not how the way the world works. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's only how you work and how your universe works inside you. So, um, not reacting angrily, and then knowing that you don't want to react that way, and then not wanting to react that way, you now go back into self reflect or journaling, and then evaluating what made you mad, how you reacted, and then displaying and writing down the manner you want to react, and then practicing on it. It takes practice because it's not going to happen overnight for sure.
Yeah. Thanks, man. I have to wrap up this podcast because I have less than a minute left. But that was an awesome podcast. I have to get going, you guys, because I have some shit to do, and so is James. He has a lot of shit to do because he's a fucking legend. I appreciate you for coming on to the Masculine Mindset Show, James. I'm going to wrap up this
Fuck yeah,
podcast.
nah, you the man, you the legend.
I appreciate you guys for listening to the Masculine Mindset Show. Go follow my man, James. Okay? I'll put his info in the show notes. Now, this is his username on Instagram. The Chiseler. THECHIZELER. Blue check mark. You guys, this is a good dude right here. I would appreciate that you would go give him some support. He's basically turned into a regular on my show. More importantly, you guys, please leave me a 5-star review with words behind it. And lastly, you guys, I have testimonies on my website, okay, for you to see, fitness testimonies. And lastly, you guys, understand that my fitness questions, you have to submit $10. Okay, it'll be in the show notes, $10 to be featured on my podcast for me to answer your question. Now just email me and send me your question. Thanks.